Alright, yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 69 of the Casual Weebs podcast, and what a perfect episode, episode 69, to bring in the new summer season of anime, which was beyond incredible this week. It was absolutely stacked with not just, 90 animes, just just so many, but some of the best animes. These animes are absolutely incredible, so entertaining, and so fun to watch. I'm literally looking forward to all of them. If you ask me, gun to my head, make a top 5 out of this week, I honestly can't. They are that good. And if you've been following along, you guys have know that we're trying to find a way how to organize all of these animes, because we're degenerates, obsessed with anime. I mean, at this point is the best way to say it. We want to watch and talk about it all, but it's kind of hard to do that in an hour-long podcast. We found a way. If you've been following us because of To Be Hero X, To Be Hero X is going to be getting its own kind of video series because its season is made up of a bunch of mini arcs. So what we're going to do is watch one arc and then make a video on it, and that video gets its own arc, right? It's a bit easier. It's going to be all put together then and way more organized, and it's just simpler. So I think that that's a great way to do that. And then also we're going to be doing the normal podcast, and then also a secondary version of the podcast, which is going to be a Netflix exclusive animes, because this season we have The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, This Summer Hikaru Died, and Sakamoto Days, 3 absolute bangers that are just on Netflix. We're like, why don't we just make up the second part, that we drop later in the week, a podcast just for that, just for this season, and it's kind of easier, and then that somehow makes it a little bit more manageable. So if you guys are excited for the summer season, if you guys are excited for anime content, come hang out, because we're going to be dropping a ton of it, because we're also dropping, the summer check-in in a week or two. We're dropping so much more. This is the season where we're just going to, literally show how down bad we are for anime. This is bad.
Oh, yeah.
The addiction is so beyond real. It's absolutely insane. So we hope you guys are excited. Let us know in the comments down below what has been your favorite anime so far, because a lot of these are phenomenal. I cannot wait to dive in. Today, we're going to be doing a little something special. We are going to be talking about This Summer Hikaru Died, because some of the other Netflix animes haven't dropped yet, but that's what we want to talk about. We joked about that yesterday, like last week, I mean, where I was like, oh yeah, it's going to start on the 4th, they knew that we were going to have off, and we could binge it, they're thinking of us, and then we laughed, because it's a joke, they don't give a fuck about us, you know what I mean? That is so true now. I mean, Netflix, talked to, released, a couple days before Fragrant Flower was supposed to drop, hey, by the way, it's only in Japan. Everyone else gets it in September. Same thing with Demon Slayer. I actually heard we knew Demon Slayer movie is dropping now in Japan, but for us it's September. I'm hearing that the UK is getting it a month before us. So we have to dodge the English dub, spoilers, like Mad Men, a month before it drops for us. They really do hate us, bro. What is this? What is this?
It started with stripping us of comments in community.
Yeah.
And now they're coming for our release dates, you know. I don't know what we did, but that's why people find it other ways.
Boys, that is true. I'm just saying the fragrant flower blooms with dignity. It's a tongue twister. It's a tongue twister. We were just talking about this. It's insane. Listen, we are going to be talking about it. We are watching it. I gotta say, episode 1 was heat. It was incredible. If you want to watch it, well, you can of course sail the 7 seas, naturally. Or or some of us do that. I don't know. Or you can change your VPN to Japan and just hop on Japan's Netflix, and it is also there. Because, like I said, it is available in Japan on Netflix. So there's 2 ways. One of them's fun. One of them's boring, but more legal, I guess. You can take your pick, but we are going to be talking about it, in the Netflix exclusive version that we're going to be dropping, and I highly recommend it. Episode 1, like I was saying, it was really, really good. I loved it. It was incredible. But I said we got to jump right into it. To me, it's your baby, right? You're the one who told me about it. You were reading it. You were reading the manga before anybody else. You were talking about it for anybody else, and now it's dropped. Episode 1, Gachiakuta. Holy shit. Holy shit, was it incredible.
Dude, so good. I feel like Studio Bones always kind of captures that vibe really well, so they went with the perfect option, the perfect studio, and I felt like it held the vibe from the manga really well. The art style is really similar, but also that dark, eerie kind of serial killer vibe that they give to Rudo, and for good reason. My man really went through some shit pretty much up until now.
Yeah.
So I thought they did a great job. It was a phenomenal premiere. I saw some people said they didn't really like it or it took too long to build up, towards the end. But a lot of times that's what a pilot is. You know what I mean? I think just, again, being a manga reader, there's so much to this. And as soon as you meet the other characters, people are going to blow it up. I think it's going to be definitely one of the, we'll say big three from this season. For being a premiere, I think it's got a lot of hype. Although it's got stiff competition, I loved it and I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't know why people would say it was like slow. I thought it was like quick. I was hooked from like the first second. I mean, it opens up with him getting caught going through the trash and getting shot. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Slow build up. Like,
Yeah.
and then we have the suspense and the mystery where like he's always wearing the gloves and like they're picking on him like, hey, he's got some disease. I was like, oh, what's the disease? And they show us, which I thought was sick. I was like, that's awesome. And telling us about his dad being like a murderer, which then they created in him. Because then they go and they kill that guy, which I assumed was his uncle, typical kind of trope, like, oh, the parents are gone, so they have the uncle take over, but he's like some stranger. Like, they're not blood related. He just kind of looked after him. I wonder if there is going to be something later down the line where maybe there is more of a connection between them or something like that. Like, maybe his father's friend. I don't know. But, we have that connection, and then he ends up getting killed, and our boy gets framed for it. And it's like, dude, holy shit. And then everything with the girl, like, I thought it was action-packed from start to finish. I was on the edge of my seat going through this roller coaster of like, oh my god, this is peak, boys. We are climbing the peak mountain. This is incredible.
Dude, so good. And there's a lot of really cool instances. I think, having a lot of foresight being, all the way caught up, like you have like more information. And like there were a few really important moments, like his like adoptive father.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really know if they're related by blood, but Rudo kind of makes that comment that it doesn't matter. He took him in when he was an orphan, so he's pretty much his dad, whether it's blood or not. He gave them the gloves, and he's like, all I know is it's helped, kind of ease the pain from whatever crazy disease he's got on his hands, which super, super crazy, like all blacked out, kind of looked like tattoos almost. I thought that was really sick. But and like you have this very stark disposition, a literal gate around this beautiful utopian looking city. Everybody's all dressed. Everything's very white and bright. And then you have, kind of like the slums where the tribes folk live.
Mm-hmm.
So their desire to frame Rudo, who they pretty much know is like the trash raider, they don't even give him a trial, nothing. They're like, oh, yep, caught you with his blood on your clothes, you're done.
Dude, so one thing that like blew me away is that like, yeah, he gets like thrown down to like the pit and everything, right? And we see that scene where the girl turns his back on him and like drops like the toy, and you're like, dude, like what the fuck? But I'm seeing people compare her to who's it, Rachel from Tower of God, kind of like the friends who kind of seem like they're lovers, but then she absolutely stabs him in the back. Like, don't spoil anything, but like, do we see more of her later on? Is there like more to her story, or is it kind of like she's done for like the foreseeable future?
Yeah, she's done for the foreseeable future.
Right.
I'll just put it at that. Like, she literally does not come back up in the story. It's very akin to like, well, that's maybe too far, but yeah, we don't see her for a while.
All right, bet. Because like, so when people brought that up, I'm like, dude, did she like betray him, and like is she like a kind of like a villain behind the scenes or something like that? Either way, I thought her role in episode 1 was phenomenal. The way that she always like was kind of like stepping up for him and kind of believing in him. And first of all, I mean, you instantly turn your back on him. Like, who would I'd never get that when you see that in like movies, TV shows, anime. It's like, why would he ever kill that guy? Like, why? Like, there's no reason. And then, like, for people to then believe him, like, oh my god, I can't believe him. Like, I always thought you were good, but you're always a killer, just like your It's like, dude, fuck you. When he's like, oh, you all deserve death, I was like, yes. Yes, please have this anime with him burning it all to the ground. Oh, I want it. I want it so goddamn bad.
Yeah, it definitely, he keeps that vibe through the whole thing. Like, I saw people being like, oh, he's going to be the next Eren. And in a way, like, that's a good comparison, but not really. And as you meet, like, the other, like, the main cast, the cleaners, they're called, like, you'll kind of see the impact they have on him. And it definitely, by the end of the first season, shapes his goals and his personality a little bit. But that, like, anguish and that hate remains the same. And I agree with you. I love the way the girl, I think her name's Chiwa, yeah, literally stabs him in the back, does not put any faith or trust in him. She says she, oh, I believed in you. Well, obviously not. I mean, I know it's a pretty intense situation, but like she totally goes with it, with what everybody else says. And, it literally breaks his heart. And I think that does fuel a lot of his like feelings for revenge.
Yeah, and like you also can like I can see the parallels of like the drawing the lines to Aaron, but I also can see him not turning that way because like his like father figure when like, he was like dying even said like, hey, like take this world and make it into something better. You know what I mean? And like that's literally like because you were talking about that. His whole thing is he can take trash and like make it into something more. Like the way he was able to like rebuild and repurpose everything,
Mm.
it seems like he's perfect for that. This world of trash and shit, turn it into something like actually worth living in. You know what I mean?
He's
Like make it
cooking.
into a functioning real society. So I feel like because of those last words, those dying words, I feel like he's gonna eventually kind of like lose that like initial rage, the initial you all need to die, and instead kind of like fuck you, we just gotta make this into something better. Because like, and to be fair, like taking out that trash could help make a better society, but like I feel like he's not gonna go the Aaron route because of that.
I think you're exactly right. And 130 some chapters in, like you can kind of see the symbolism right from episode 1, and you hit the nail on the head. He's repurposing trash, and at the end of the day, like once we learn more about these powers and the significance of his gloves and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and who the killer of Recto is like adoptive dad is, you'll kind of understand that that is really what this whole show is about, like taking a fucked up world, trash so to speak, and making it into something better. And I thought that's like symbolism was right there right from the start. Like you see it like quite a few times with like the haves and the have nots so to speak, like the clean and the dirty, and then even the way the tribes folks treat each other.
Yeah, and one thing I like, one little complaint I have is you brought up like the gloves. They kept saying in the episode that like, oh yeah, the gloves are like ratty and torn and disgusting, and like, oh, you can like die from being touched by them. But then like you see the
Yeah.
gloves in the anime and they look brand fucking new. I was like, they couldn't like dirty them up or like scuff them up a bit. Like that's one thing I'm like, dude, they look fine. Like, why are people saying that? Like, making fun of them? Like, oh, if you get touched by them, you're gonna get some deadly disease and die. I was like, it looks fine.
I thought the same thing, and Rudo's literally like, yeah, they were really beaten up even before he gave them to me, and they like look completely fine. I was
Yeah,
like,
they look clean
all
as
right,
fuck.
cleaner than everything else around them, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think there's a ton of potential there, and once we meet the main cast, like I think it'll blow up. Like all the other characters have that same kind of like psychotic edge to them, but they're like still good people deep down, and like there's so much to uncover. I definitely think this will get a few seasons and end up being like one of these next gen kind of mainstay animes for sure.
Yeah, honestly, I completely head over heels fell in love with this anime. Like genuinely. Like this anime seems like it's gonna be so amazing. I cannot wait until like we meet the other characters because I have a feeling I'll be changing my backgrounds to
Oh
Gachiakuta.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell
Like
yeah.
it just seems perfect. I've been seeing some of the characters; they look absolutely phenomenal, incredible. And you know what I love? The community. That's one thing that's like important, and I actually really love getting into like manga and manhwa is that the communities are just so tight and so cool. What was awesome is seeing the murals that were being made of Gachiakuta. I don't know if you saw them, but around like certain cities, they were making these murals of Gachiakuta, but they all lined up. So you took a picture of the murals and you can like line them up, and it like spelled something out, showed the different characters. It was like very like involved with like the anime, and I thought that was such like a cool like in real life experience with the anime that I was like, yo, like that's so sick. Like that is so cool. I cannot wait to see what this anime has to offer, and hopefully, I don't know how many episodes any of these seasons have. Hopefully, this is a long one. I really want it to be.
It's definitely got the content behind it. I have a feeling they'll kind of do what Kaiju did, give us a season and then bust out like season 2 maybe like a year later
Yeah.
just to keep the momentum going. But it definitely feels like it'll be a longer running anime just because of everything they got to do down in the pit, and then obviously you got to get back to the sphere and at some point conclude the story and go through all that. So I think we got plenty in store for us, and there's just so many good characters. It's like Kei Urana's the author. She did a really good job of making like a bunch of weird, like crazy, eclectic characters, but they're all still badass and like lethal. Even like the goofy ones, the funny ones, they still have that edge to them that you're like, oh, that's sick. So I think people will love the cast just as much as they do the story.
Well, that's what some people I saw were saying is actually gonna be like the downfall of the anime because like Engine, I think his name is like everyone's saying that that's like
The goat.
The Gojo replacement, and they're like, yo, like once these characters get introduced, like it's downhill. People are gonna like freak the fuck out. There's gonna be like cults surrounding these characters.
Engine is definitely the fucking man, and he's definitely like one of the most important.
I'm just beyond stoked for the next episode because we just saw massive trash monster. I'm guessing the people, the cleaners, are gonna, come in, save the day, and kind of explain some things. So I feel like we're immediately gonna meet everybody next ep. So I'm stoked for that. I'm really looking forward to that. But you got to keep us posted of when they deviate from the manga. That's what I'm gonna be interested about too. Since you like follow it pretty closely, I'd love to know when they start to like change off.
The only thing I noticed is when they're first talking in the village and like Rudo's setting up his little like repurposed shop, which I thought was really cute. You know what I mean? He's got his own little
Yeah.
like, his own little yard sale going on. And then that fucking kid kicks over that like perfectly good gas lantern. It's like, yo, man, dick. But like, she was talking to him and she's like, you don't have to go through trash. Like, you can use your skills better. And in the manga, he's like, that's what I love to do. I love trash. I love digging through trash. I love being in the trash, and I love finding shit in the trash. But like, he's way more tame about it. Like in that conversation in the anime, like he was way more tame. He kind of says it, but like not as like upfront in the manga. And I'm like, oh, come on, my man loves trash. Don't hide it.
Yeah, he doesn't sound obsessed with trash. Like he's got like a compulsion to go play in it.
Yeah, exactly. That was the only thing that was different, but so far, like, super, super accurate art style. And I know Kei Urana had a lot to do with it, so, like, I have a feeling it'll be a really good adaptation. And she got one of the best metal bands in Japan to do the, I don't know if it's the intro, outro situation. It's like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. Pale Dusk, very good.
Dude, it's been delivering. What an episode 1. But let's talk about an episode 3. Let's talk about Lord of the Mysteries that came out swinging. So first of all, we got to talk about Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is doing a little bit well. They did actually bring on a new translator, and they went back, which is nice, went back into the old episodes and fixed some of the translation errors and problems with it, which is a good start. Again, someone brought it up, and I'd love to see them do it too. Translate the extra content that like China got so we can get it too, because there's so much like educational stuff that the studio released to help explain everything and ease everybody in and to clarify things up, because like everyone's got a lot of questions that we just aren't getting because it's not being translated. So if they can translate that shit ASAP, that'll be awesome. And also they talked about having multiple dubs, like 8 dubs or something, that they were gonna release to like get it like to a wider audience, like in English and like a bunch of other stuff. And they haven't done that yet, so everyone's still waiting on that. So Crunchyroll is trying to like help this anime out and kind of try to like help the success of it. You know what I mean, by kind of getting on top of some shit early. So hopefully they keep that up. But I think that that's a good look, especially because like Lord of the Mysteries is confirmed now for 3 seasons. It's been killing it. I'd love to see it continue to succeed, and I also love the extra content because like, yeah, I'm on TikTok and on YouTube like looking this stuff up, trying to do some homework, like, oh, like, what is this? What is that? Because, like, it's just so intriguing. It's so cool, and you want to know more about it, but it's, like, you're kind of left hanging a little bit.
Yeah, and it's very deep. There's a lot of depth to Lord of the Mysteries, and, like, it's very Dark Souls-esque if you've played that game, and, like, you have to take the context that you have and then, like, think about it and be like, all right, you have to, like, kind of read between the lines and, like, really pay attention to the flashbacks, which episode 3 I feel like was pretty important with some of the Klein flashbacks. But if you like don't really hone in on that, I feel like you will miss some of the story. But yeah, like going through and watching shorts and stuff like that really helps you catch up. And on the Crunchyroll point, I'll give them a lot of credit. I think the whole like Chinese wave of like animation and animes is awesome. They're doing a really good job. But Chinese is probably the hardest language to learn. So like I can't imagine that there's a bunch of like people in this realm that are like, capable of doing like really accurate translations. And I know this from Japanese, like not everything has a 1-for-1 translation in English. So I'm sure you got to get like the right phrasing and somebody who really knows both languages. So one, that's pretty tricky to do, but really cool on them for like trying to make it as accurate as possible to, the source material. Because like that really does matter. And I know from manga translations, Jujutsu Kaisen, there were some corny ass lines like in like heated moments, and it's like, yo, my bro did not just say that. Like it had to be funny, more bad.
It's low-key,
yeah, and you're like, people like were seeking out this translator on Twitter, John Wary, and it was like, man, this poor guy's just trying to like help us because we don't know Japanese. Leave the fucking guy alone.
Yeah, and one thing I learned too is that you don't know like how old the translators are either. Like I ended up following on Discord like a translation, kind of at a company. I don't know what you'd call it. All I know is some of the mangas and manhwas I read are translated by the same, kind of company. They have a Discord. I'm like, oh, awesome. I'll follow it. That way I can get like alerts anytime they drop new chapters on like Hero Killer, My Bias Gets on the Last Train. You know what I mean? And I think like the dude who does it is like in college. He was like, hey guys, they just dropped like this new chapter, but I got like finals I got to study for, so like I'm gonna be a little late on it. So like people are like coming at some of these translators, but it's like, dude, some of them are just like in school. Like you kind of got to calm down. You know what I mean? I know we love anime and I know we love all that stuff, but yeah.
It's not a job. It's not like they're getting paid by Crunchyroll. Maybe this guy is, but
Yeah.
a lot of these people are just doing it for the fun of it or because it helps them like immerse themselves in a language. It's almost like a favor for the community. So like, yeah, I definitely feel you. That's the last guy I'm harassing because I definitely don't speak Chinese and I can't read Japanese. So that's out of the question as well.
I will say this, then we got to get into the episode because there's just so much amazing things to talk about. It was a weird transition when I started link click and I was like listening to was it Mandarin instead of like Japanese? But now that I'm like used to it and now we have like Lord of the Mysteries and I'm listening to that subbed, like I actually really love the language. Like it's so pleasing to hear. Like I'm like yo, like I'm not listening to this in English when it drops. Like this is so good. It's weird to get used to because like you listen to like anime in Japanese for like so long, you get like used to that. But like I don't know, I feel like it's an adjustment. But like once you get used to it, it's just so good. I don't know what it is. It is just like softer. It's like very like soothing in my opinion. I don't know. It was just something that I've been noticing with listening to or watching Lord of the Mysteries.
I picked up on that right away because I listen to obviously watch a lot of anime. I watch a lot of Korean stuff, like my girls. Or like exposed. Hearing like the Chinese voice actors, like the timbre in their voice, really like unique and like the way they use like their words and like it's a very complex language, but like all these voice actors are killing it. Yeah. You have a lot of like the same style, like kind of suave, dapper, detective-esque, like mysterious man, but like they all have like different voices and they express like the character extremely well, which I know is the point of voice acting, but so far, like for me, it wasn't like a crazy adjustment. It was kind of enjoyable. Not to say anything else is bad, but just like fresh and kind of nice.
Yeah, it's like fresh. It's something new and it's like pleasing. It's like a nice surprise. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, like this is cool. This is good. But getting into the episode, what a clown show of an episode this was, because it was all about fucking, it was all about clowns. I mean, with the weapon, what is it, 2-049, that special weapon, was a wooden clown, and then the enemy, like the villain, which got fucked by RNG, let's be honest. Bro got screwed by the Gachi gods.
He lost his 50-50 there.
Twice.
Twice, actually.
Bro, he was a clown too, so it was like all about clowns, but I thought it was an awesome episode. Like it was so good. And the animation, of course, is still just killing it, but I love this episode.
Very sick. They kind of tease us in the beginning and like you have that kind of ogre-ish dude, in like the end of episode 2. You're like, all right, yeah, that was like a big baddie. They kind of handle him pretty swiftly. It's like, all right, they're pretty capable, these guys. And they mentioned that the Secret Order is like another faction or church that is kind of up against them, but they're not that active. They're not like, at the forefront of things. And this episode really showed that the notebook of that ancient family is what everybody's after. That is a huge key part of whatever is going on. And obviously Klein has it. And at the end of the episode too, they're kind of talking about it like, oh, you're the best seer I've ever seen. Like you have a ton of potential. They're just gassing him up and he's like all uncomfortable because he kind of knows, it's not 100% true, but like
he has more
his potential is there.
Like he's not just a seer. Like he has that's the thing that's like not explained too well, is that he has like other abilities. You know what I mean? Because you could have like multiple. Okay, I think there's called sequences and there's called paths. So like for example, like you can have multiple paths. There's like multiple different things, like kind of like classes. It seems like that you can be a part of, and then your sequence is like the lower the number, the higher it is, like or like the stronger it is. So we know that he's on like a different path too that makes him like insanely strong. Like when he got like isekai pretty much, like he got like that special power, which I think allows him to like go into like that alternate realm where he's like the gray mist and stuff like that. And he's able to summon people. So like yeah, bro's stuff on another level. It's not just he's like a good seer, but that's what was really cool too, is that like sequence 8, or like the next level to that path, is called Clown. So it seems like that he's going to continue down that path and getting stronger in that aspect. But I wonder, can you skip sequences? Does he have to go from 9 to 8, or can he just skip if he finds like 6? Because it's a potion. So if he finds the potion to like sequence 6, can he just take that? That's something I'm interested in too as well.
I would guess yes, only because he also makes that comment too that like, oh, he told me about number 8. He doesn't know that I'm a sequence 9. Like, how did he underestimate me or not be able to read me properly?
Yeah.
Which again leads to Klein being a lot more, he's unassuming. He's more than meets the eye, and that's a lot of what this episode kind of like not so subtly hinted at.
Yeah, I mean, it that's the thing. Like again, you don't feel like annoyed by like not knowing a lot. It's more like intrigued. It's more like exciting. You know what I mean? Because like there is a lot where it's like you have a lot of questions and you're kind of like what's going on here. But it's not like, dude, like what is this? You know what I mean? This makes no sense. You're getting frustrated. It's not like that at all. It's more like, oh, this seems like really cool. Like I want to know more about it. Which again is why I'm like really excited. Like give us the extra content because like I want to like know more about this stuff. I think like you're right because who's it? Daily, the spirit medium, the badass chick who's a fucking beast. Oh, dude, she's so cool. I looked up, like, oh, like, what do I call her? Like, is she, like, a spirit medium? So I, like, looked her up on, like, the wiki, and, like, it showed that she's, like, a part of a couple of different paths, and I don't think she's in order of the sequences. So I think she has, like, some, like, higher ones, some lower ones. So I think because of that, like, you're right, you don't have to go in order. But yeah, I definitely cannot wait to get more into like the different paths and different sequences, and hopefully we dive into that like soon. It seems like they're doing a good job kind of explaining it though, because they keep bringing it up no matter when they keep introducing people. Like, oh, this person's that, this person's this. Here's where you go for that. You know what I mean? So like they are like doing a pretty good job, but like there's a lot to learn in this anime, and like I like it. I like it.
I agree. Like I've actually watched episode 2 and 3. Like I finished it, did whatever, took a break. Throw some laundry in, and then I came back and like watched it in chunks. Like, all right, what really happens here? Because like the flashback with Klein was really important. Like they were doing some pretty heavy work, and like that's a lot of what these churches are chasing, the notebook and like these ancient artifacts of Hornesis or whatever. And you're right on the fact that like as a viewer, I'm not annoyed. I'm like, yo, I don't know what the fuck's going on. You kind of do, but this is also still episode 3, and it's called Lord of the Mysteries, not Lord of the like right in front of your face. You know what I mean? So I'm like, sit back. I said this last week too, like just try and like watch it. And then by the end of this season or, 8-10 episodes in, you're like, all right, I have a much better understanding of where everybody's at, what's going on. And then you'll still have like a ton of stuff to uncover because you can feel right away, like that 3-episode rule, we talk about, there's a ton of depth to this show. And that's why I think it's got 3 seasons, because you need that to unravel the depth of this story, which I think is a testament to how well it's written and how much detail is in it.
That's what I'm like surprised that we're already having like 3 seasons confirmed. It's like, dude, it feels like it takes like a lot to produce this. Like, how fast do you like plan on dropping those 3 seasons, especially with season 2 being so long? You know what I mean? Like that's gonna be insane.
And even the I guess we'll call it like an extra 10 minutes an episode. That's a lot of content and like stuff to write out and flesh out and animate. It's like pretty impressive. So like I'm just trying to enjoy it, but also like kind of go back and make sure I'm not missing bits and pieces. But also like I think diving into the community and like seeing what other people are saying would be helpful too if like you do feel lost about certain parts, because it's definitely there, but it's not something that's like surface level where you're just gonna like watch it and be like, oh, I know the plot.
Yeah, and like hopefully like we keep like diving more into it, and like we don't like open up a bunch of like starting plot points and then just like kind of like move on to the next thing. Because like at the end of the episode, Klein goes and sees his former teacher and kind of asks him some questions. That left like a whole bunch of like mysteries and things setting up. Like his teacher was like kind of like lying, definitely up to something. You know what I mean? Definitely asking Shady. That skeleton forms. It's like, yo, like please don't tell me we just like walk away from this and then it's not visited until like the end of the season or season 2. Like please tell me next episode we get more into that, because that seems so intriguing. And so far they haven't like left off on plot points. Like it's been completed. Like the clown dude's already dead. Like the RNG gods, he got a bullet to the throat and then to the head. Like, holy by the way, when he's like in that like in like the HQ and he's like, walking by the room and he's like at the morgue and he sees like the dead body, dude, that thing was full of blood. Like, bro, bro just kept bleeding. I was like, what the fuck? It looks like he killed him on the table. I was like, dude, what the hell? I was like, Jesus.
No compression on the wounds. They just threw him on the table, rolled him off. Yep, he's dead. We'll come back to him in a few days.
Yeah, like, holy shit. But hopefully we end up going back to Klein's former teacher.
I think so too. And like, I thought it was funny. he's like all suave and like, oh, just be careful. You might step into some forbidden area and that could be dangerous. As soon as he turns around, he like unleashes this fucking fearsome like skeletal summon. It's like hair goes everywhere. I was like, all right, this dude is he's a little heated.
Yeah.
You hit a soft spot there, but I definitely think we'll revisit it because I feel like obviously Klein's teacher would be a huge pool of information or access to the knowledge that now Klein is seeking.
Yeah, and hopefully too we meet back up with Justice and the Hanged Man. Because I mean he temporarily went back to his little like meeting place, which by the way is so sick. His little like temple or whatever he calls it. That's so cool, like in the mist. So hopefully we end up going back there and he ends up, because he did say that there's meetings every Monday, right? He's like Monday at like 3 p.m. we're always gonna like meet up. You know what I mean? And kind of like, do a little team meeting, a little breakdown of what everyone's up to.
The Monday Zoom meetings, even in another world when you've been isekai'd, you gotta tune in for your weekly Zoom.
Dude, that's like what he was setting it up for. He's like, yeah, we're gonna meet every so often, and you guys are gonna like debrief me on like what's going on. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. It's like, bro's already running.
Know this guy.
Yeah, bro's already running a corporation, so hopefully we have that soon too, because it'll be really cool when they start to meet up. Like, that's gonna be awesome. Like, there's so many things I'm excited for in Lord of the Mysteries. Like, I cannot wait for this thing to just keep going. It's like, there's so much I want to know about and so much more I want to get into. And, like, I feel like that sums up anime in the summer season, is that it has me just dying for more. There's always, like, one or two animes each season that, like, has you really, really into them, and the rest are, like, pretty good. Like, every anime this season is just like, yo, next episode now. Like, what's this waiting a week shit? Like, let's drop this now. Like, come on. Like, all of them. They're so good.
I definitely feel you. There's a lot of really, really good stuff out. Mm-hmm. And I think as we, hit like, episode 7, 8, 9, 10, I feel like they're going to bombard you with like plot points and stuff like wrapping up and like really immersing us. You'll be in the heart of that season and it'll be like way different. You'll still be wanting more, but I think we'll have a better understanding of what's going on. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like I think that whole round table, well, it's not a round table, but there's the Zoom area. I don't know. I gotta figure out the name. The Zoom lobby will be like a very key part of helping our MC progress, but also there's other characters kind of like work together without, exposing themselves in the real world to like kind of what their priorities and goals are.
Yeah, like it's gonna be so cool getting more into them like moving forward as well. And it's cool too because like in this episode we kind of knew about it, but like it was kind of more so confirmed that there are a lot of special people in this world. Like the dude with the long hair as well, he wasn't like asleep or unconscious under the puppet's spell. Because the puppet says like, hey, like I knocked like everyone out, you know what I mean? Like everyone's unconscious right now. Like we can make our little deal, you know what I mean? Like give me the book.
Yeah.
But he wasn't, and Klein even saw him. He's like, yeah, that fucker's awake, and he's like, hey, like I was gonna save you, but like I saw that you could mess with the clown a little bit, so I let you go. And it's like he even said he's like there's some people in this world that are special, can do special things. Me and you are one of them. So I can't wait to get more into that because I feel like that's a little like foreshadowing to some of the people we're gonna meet. You know what I mean? So I cannot wait to get more into that and more into the people he has, the red and the blue. Justice and the Hanged Man.
So badass. Yeah. But like I think that'll be extremely important. The characters will be just as like pertinent to the story as like the events that unfold. Because yeah, you're right. And it's like I thought that was kind of funny, but also like a nice touch of animation. Because in the heat of the moment, like this clown's like wheeling and dealing, showing him all these crazy fucking illusions. Then he looks over and sees like his partner is like awake and capable, and then he just gives him one of the like that weird smirk, like face twitch, like yeah, I got it, without like winking, like a shitty wink. I was like, oh, all right, that was nice. Somebody took time to like smooth that out, but stuff like that is what makes it like really personable and like gives the characters depth. Because like Klein, he was basically the man. He like figured it out, battled his way out, and then everybody's gassing him up, but he's still kind of like not taking over the spotlight. Like he was a little shy about it.
That's what I'm like really excited to see. Like, is Klein gonna be overpowered as fuck because of his powers, or is he gonna be kind of strong because he uses his powers well? You know what I mean? Like he's smart. Like he has like a mastery over them. Because we did hear that the sequences when they reach a certain level, like 3 and above or something like that, like you do have like the power of a god. So we're gonna have some like very, very strong characters like on Klein's level, if not stronger, in this anime, which I think is going to be awesome. And he does seem very intelligent. And if we have that kind of like instance where it's like, hey, he's not broken because his powers are OP, but he's OP with the powers, you know what I mean? I think that's going to make for a great anime. And it seems like that's what it is.
That was a fucking bar, dude. That was sick. Well done. Does he have OP powers, or is he OP because he uses them well?
Yeah.
Well done. I think it's a combination of like kind of both. Like he is OP, but he's smart enough not to rely on his abilities and use like his intelligence and like his allies and like kind of get that battle IQ. He's debriefing every week on Zoom with the homies. Like he's using his assets around him to make him stronger and smarter.
Yeah.
And I think that'll kind of be like a key asset to climb.
Dude, that's like the inside joke of one of the missions from now on is the Zoom meetings.
Yeah, the craziest Zoom meetings every Monday at 3. You know, we all live it. Even in an isekai, you gotta do it.
Yo, that shit's crazy, bro. That shit's crazy. Speaking of the 7 seas, like the one guy's actually out at sea, so like it makes sense. It's all the dots are all connected here.
Just like episode 69, it all fell into place beautifully.
Yeah, it all came together. It's all completely on purpose. It's
yeah, exactly.
Yo.
No, I'm super excited. I think it'll be a long run. Like once people really catch on, or like people will go back and binge it as we have more episodes, and this thing will blow up big time.
Yo, like kind of like speaking on that, I 100% think I'm binging this again at the end of the year, like when the full season's out, and just kind of going through it again, because I feel like it's just that good. Like, it's absolutely insane. But speaking of absolute fire, the summer Hikaru died. Holy crap, did episode 1 absolutely body. Listen, I've been saying it, like, Summertime Rendering, Hulu exclusive, been talking about it. Awesome anime. This reminds me of it. Like, you were kind of saying, like, we talked about it very briefly before we started this. Like, it's kind of this creepy horror mystery thriller that is just good. Like, it is just, like, it's so weird, but it has you wanting more. It's like, dude, and it's, like, very kind of niche. Like, you don't see a lot of animes like that. Like I said, Summertime Running was the only one I saw that was, like that, and I loved it. So, like, I'm hyped for this. Great episode 1.
All right, you already know how it is, so I'm going to geek out and get it out of the way.
Yes.
This was done by Psy Games, and everything from, like, and again, has nothing to do with Kagurabachi. The Summer Hikaru Died is fucking phenomenal. Excellent pilot. I have to preface it. I already knew it was coming. But like the thing I liked most from the first episode was the soundscape. There's like hardly any music. It's the footsteps. It's the walking with the bikes and the conversation. It's summer. It's in the title. But you constantly have the cicadas like going. Yeah. And Kowloon definitely helped me like recognize that. I'm like, oh yeah, good looks. Thanks, Kudo. But like you have the cicadas, like the doors opening. When, you know, at the end of the episode, Hikaru's menacing that fucking weird old lady.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the banging on the door and, like, her screaming. It's not, like, horror music or anything. Like, you almost feel like a fly on the wall watching all these interactions. And it's like you said it perfectly. It's not necessarily, like, terrifying or scary. It's just fucking creepy.
Yeah.
You know, and they're, like, cutting back to the MC, like, in his bed. Like, he's all busted up because his buddy died. Like, constantly crying. Parents are fighting downstairs. It's like, yo, this is like unnerving.
Intense. Yeah.
Very tense. And I thought that was phenomenal. The whole point is this gives me an immense confidence that they are going to do Kagurabachi in the same vein.
Full circle.
It'll be a little bit different, but like there's that element of like horror and darkness that like I hope they can really nail. Like those pitch black manga panels. Please do me right. I've got confidence now.
Listen, we're not getting too far into it. We already did a Kagurabachi video, but hopefully the auction scene. Hopefully they do that justice. Oh my god, it's still one of the hardest panels in all of fucking manga. It is absolutely just... You gotta read Kagurabachi if you're into manga. I'm just saying. But, like, yeah, you're 100% right. I feel like you could really do that justice. They're killing it. And, like, what was so, like, insane, too, is, like, just how weird it is. Because you have the MC who's like, alright, my buddy's dead, right? This alien thing that we don't know what it is possessed them, like, taking over the body. And he's like, this is weird. He's like, he's mourning his buddy, but he's also glad that his buddy's, like, still somewhat alive. Because he's imitating him perfectly, right? And then he's also, like, getting kind of possessive. where he's like, hey, do you like me? He's like, yeah, I like you a lot. He's like, good, then don't ever leave me again. It's like psychotic. You know what I mean? Because like it's all over the place. It's like, get the fuck away from me. You killed my friend, and it's like, wait, but you're still kind of my friend, so don't leave me. It's like all like, it's unhealthy. You know what I mean? It's so mentally unhealthy, which makes it like just so good. And then it's not like his buddy's like good. You know, it's not like the alien's good because it kills the fucking old lady. She's like he's like banging on the doors to get out of my like don't come in. I'm never letting you in. And then like you said, like it's like the sounds because then it all cuts, and she's like, I'm already in your house. And then she turns around and you just see the shadow in the background, and then it cuts to like the dead body there, and the police are all over the place. It's like, bro, like what is this mental mindfuck of an anime that is just have a chokehold on me? I'm all for it, all for it. In episode 1, that's it.
And I will say, this is like probably the first anime where I watched the trailer and it's like, ooh, okay, that's cool, badass, whatever. Then you showed me the exact scene from the trailer and I was like, damn, that was fucking intense. That was like better than the first time I watched it. And it's the very first scene, like in the anime.
Yeah.
A big point, I think, is like whatever folklore, like legend of the mountain type, DanDaDan shit we got going on. People know who Hikaru actually is, or like the spirit, whatever it is. Like, they recognize him, and as soon as the old lady sees him and is like, get away from me, my man literally puts his foot down and is like ready to square up. His eyes turn red, and like he knows that he's been recognized. And now a bunch of the older folks are like, oh shit, he's here in the village, we're in trouble. And like the call's going out now.
Well, they didn't even say like, oh, he's in the village, we're in trouble. They said the ritual failed, I'm next. So there's way more going on where like there's an apparent ritual to try to get rid of this thing. What even is this thing? And why are like so many different people that were like all over? Because it kind of cuts to this person, that person, this person, that person, all in like different like walks of life per se, like in different careers, professions, and all this. And they're always like, oh shit, I'm next. Like I'm next up, And it's like, yo, like what's going on with that? What's that story? You know what I mean? Like what exactly is going on in this little town? And then you have this guy who's like kind of like this alien, mysterious, like, killer. You know what I mean? He's, like, policing this stuff. Because, like, he kind of goes in this house, like, what are you doing? And he sees that the wall is, like, this mutant thing. And he fucking kills it with a crowbar. So it kind of shows that he's, like, this company man that's taking out all of the supernatural things out here. And even he gets the call, and he's like, yeah, I don't want to go in that weird-ass town. So this guy who does this for a living, who's, like, going to be, like, the main kind of, like, guy kind of chasing them, trying to take out Hikaru, it seems like, throughout this entire series, is even like, yo, I don't want to, like, step foot in that weird-ass town. It just kind of shows just how weird and creepy it is. You know what I mean?
Yes, very good point. And, like, that's the very end of the episode, and he's like, ugh, like, not really looking forward to going there. And, like, the whole vibe of that town, like, you can look past, like, the really cool sunset, how the sunset progresses, like, as they're walking home and stuff, and the eeriness of the mountain. Like, they do a really good job of, like, painting the scene and the environment as really, really creepy. And it's not, like, terrifying, but, like, creepy in the best way possible. So I think next episode will give us a little more, like, context of what happened in the past and, like, how people feel about this now, other than fucking terrified.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, like it gives off the same vibe as Sometime Rendering, and that ended really, really well. Like that really, like, it started off just like this, where it's like, oh my god, this is so creepy, it's weird, it's all over, mysterious, like this is cool. It just heated up and ended in like the most insane bombshell of a way, and I have a feeling that the Summer Hikaru died is going to be the same exact thing. I feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg, and we have so much more in store for us that we can't even like think of right now. Like I feel like this is going to get absolutely crazy. So if you guys are really into like these kind of like creepy thriller mysteries, like what is going on, like what the fuck, you're gonna love this. You gotta check it out. Netflix exclusive. Believe it or not, we have access to it. Thanks, Netflix. I guess we got the privilege of getting this one. Fucking.
We got at least one. Thank you.
Fucking assholes, bro. I can't stand Netflix. Dude, like, don't even tell us, you know what I mean? Why do you tell us like 3 days before? You could have just started off and, hey, by the way, it's only in Japan until September. Like, why are you like promoting it to be like, everyone thought it was going to be over the weekend. Everyone was surprised. Like, why do you got to be like that, Netflix? That is such like a not a bro move. That's what I'm going to say. It's not a bro move.
Not a bro move at all, especially like at the beginning of such a lit season.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'm Luffy. Okay, but like, okay, like DanDaDan. DanDaDan, bro, what a way to come back. And I mean, like, the awesome thing about DanDaDan is that people were like upset, right? Because they're like, hey, here's what we're gonna do. Season one's gonna be in 2 parts. Because it's gonna be in 2 parts, we're not gonna give season one, part one, a good ending. You know what I mean? It's gonna kind of cut off like as things like right where it is. You know what I mean? It's gonna feel weird. But because of that, part two started up so well. Like, it hit the ground running. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that is insane that, first of all, we have these ghost spirits that are taking this house and they're making it a trap. And the families that live in this house get sacrificed to, like, the serpent god. It's not a serpent god. These dumb fucks are feeding an earthworm that turned out to be massive because they fed it for so many, like, years, so many decades. So, like, I love how, like, we got to that scene where, like, everything's said and done. We realize it's an earthworm. They're down in, like, the earthworm's pit, right? Everyone's trapped down there. And they're, like, doing this, like, sacrificial dance. And everyone's just like, you guys are fucking idiots. It's an earthworm. Instantly kills them. Bro, that scene had me crying. I'm like, that's DanDaDan. Like, DanDaDan's back. Hey, we're in mid-season form. We never left. Like, we've always been here. Like, oh, just what a great episode. Had me crying.
Dude, so funny. And those people were so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Like, perfect DanDaDan villain. Again, you know, starting off the season with trying to get after Momo while she's got no clothes on.
Yeah, in
she's
the
trying
bath,
to take
in the sauna or whatever.
Relaxing soak. And,
Yeah.
you know, these guys are fucking all over. And you're like, ew. And just, like, the big, creepy faces and, like, you got that salaryman haircut that you're like...
Salaryman haircut, fucking weirdo.
Big giant smile. Can I trust this guy?
No.
And whatever, she gets away, and you're like, all right, cool. You know, Turbo Granny helps her out, sneaks
Turbo
in the
Granny
backpack. We love you. Yeah, typical Turbo Granny dub.
Yeah.
And then we get back to the house, and the creepiest group of fucking women ever walk in, and it's, you know, it's Gigi's landlord. We're like,
yeah.
What the hell? And she puts the shotgun on him, and she's like, yeah, if you're lying, I'm gonna kill you. And he's like, well, pointing a gun at somebody could get you in trouble with the police. And bam, who comes through the door but the police?
On
and he's
payroll.
a crooked cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, you're just like, this is DanDaDan. You're like, what the fuck? Like, all right, good. What the fuck?
But then Momo comes in, sees that they're, like, getting fucked up, because of course they lied, you know what I mean? And they couldn't, like, sell it. And then she's like, oh, alright, bet. It's on site. And then just starts swinging. Like, oh my god, dude. It's like, Momo's back. Like, Momo's a fucking gangster. I don't care, bro. She was like, oh, like, she sees those two dimwits on the ground, like, stripped down and getting their asses beat. And she's like, alright, Turbo Granny, let's take care of business. Turbo Granny's like, fuck you. I'm not doing a single thing. I don't care. And then, you know, Momo just kind of pops off on her own. Like, dude, it's like I said, it's like, it's back. And that's actually, like, a common thread. Like, a common, like, I guess thing I've been realizing with throughout the season is that there's a lot of animes that just feel like they're in like that mid-season form. They don't feel like it's an episode 1 of a new season. It feels like we're back and we never left. I felt the same thing with DanDaDan. I mean, it felt the same with Kaiju 8 with its filler episode. I'm like, dude, like we never left. You know what I mean? My Dress Up Darling. Like, there's so many where it's just like, dude, they came in so high and just like picked up right where they left off. So, like, seeing that with DanDaDan, I'm hyped for, and I cannot wait to get back into Sakamoto days. That's what has me so stoked. It's like, we still have Sakamoto days, like, next week. I cannot wait to jump back into that, especially because that's going to be a massive arc. Like, dude, we're eating so good. Like, it is so unfair, but I'm all for it.
It really feels like, and we've been saying this for probably 2 months now, like,
Yeah.
This is one of the best seasons, if not the best season of anime all time. Like, as a fan who's constantly watching and paying attention to what's coming out. And you're exactly right. Everything just, like, picked up where they left off. There's no, like, you know, slow starts or, like, we got to pick up and, you know, recap you for 15 minutes. Like, everything was pedal to the metal. It really feels like the whole industry was like, all right, summer 25, we got to, like, come out with the big guns. We got, you know, Demon Slayer to compete with and all the heavy hitters. I totally agree. I thought DanDaDan, and it kind of made me appreciate the goofy cliffhanger at the end of season 1, because it made that first episode hit super hard, and you're like, all right, we're in mid-season form already, which maybe was this plan from the start. But yeah, it definitely feels like we're cooking.
That's one thing that people said. They said the same thing with DanDaDan and Sakamoto. They did not end well. Kaiju did, but like Kaiju's looking at this as like an actual season 2, while like DanDaDan and Sakamoto's are looking at this as like a part 2. So that's why they ended pretty weird. But that's why they're going to be starting so hot. Hopefully Sakamoto Days follows. But yeah, like just like, an insane episode. Like it just felt so good. It felt like DanDaDan, we're back. I was gonna get my Turbo Granny shirt, wear, and be like, all right, fuck yeah, let's lock in, boys. Bro, Turbo Granny, absolutely love her. But like that's also really cool too, is because we've seen the teasers and the trailers. We see that Gigi turns into something like possessed, and he becomes like a beast. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy this season, and something is going down already where they're in the house kind of like looking for cover, and then Momo and Ken are like on the ground like freaking out, like their powers are going kind of berserk here. So like I feel like this season of DanDaDan is really going to kind of kick in with like yeah, of course, the goofiness, the funniness that we've been seeing in this first episode, but I feel like the fight scenes are going to be elevated this season, where we're going to be like, oh shit, like yeah, like DanDaDan's got some solid ass fight scenes. You know what I mean? Like I think that that's gonna be like a notable staple to the season.
Yeah, I think it's gonna lock in and kind of like really go pedal to the metal, which is kind of the whole point. It's Okarun's ability.
Yeah,
but like I definitely
much.
think it'll be more intense because we know Gigi's kind of like a main part of the cast, but we've seen him transform, and yeah, I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. But I think they'll kind of like hit into that. And then you mentioned the scene at the end where Momo and Ken are like tweaking their, kind of like overcome by something, a power, a sickness, something like that.
Yeah.
My first thought was, oh, that's got to be what's like making people in this town sick and why Gigi's parents are in the hospital.
Yeah. Well, again, it seems like they're like being all like sacrifices too. Like the whole thing is revolving on the serpent god, and maybe like Gigi getting possessed is going to end up being the serpent. The serpent thing. Like Momo ended up seeing it. She went to the shrine and actually like saw it. So maybe its spirit is something that's gonna like be involved more. It seems like there's so much like at play, like supernatural wise, where it's like, yo, this is gonna be like insane. Like this is gonna be so awesome. I'm all for it, and I'm hoping season 2 is gonna deliver. Like there's so much to be excited about. I mean, this week was phenomenal. It was a lot to watch, but I loved every second of it. Like we were talking about it before, we had to switch from our notes being on fucking notepads to a Google Docs because there's just so much to talk about and go over and to like note. Like again, guys, this week, which was a lot of great stuff too. Friggin' Flowers dropped. I mean, that episode is amazing. Secrets of the Silent Witch. Oh, comfort anime of the season. That is like for me, comfort anime of the season. It's so good. It was amazing. It feels like Wistoria. It's really, really funny and goofy, but then it comes out of nowhere with like some of the hardest hitting fight scenes with phenomenal animation. Like, what is this? This is some no name that popped out of the weeds. Like, what do you mean it's got like this animation? Like, again, watch it and look at the dragon fight, and like you'll be like, where did that come from? Like
yeah,
hello. Like it's absolutely insane. Kaiju 8 dropped its filler episode, which was awesome. Takapi, Original Sin, boys. Episode 2 had me like flying around my room. The roller coaster I was on was absolutely insane. One of like the most insane episode 2s I think I've ever seen from a premiere. It was absolutely insane. Episode 1, by the way, was rated higher than the first 2 episodes of Lord of the Mysteries, and episode 2 was even better. So I mean, it's absolutely insane. This season's stacked. Not to mention, there's animes coming out of like the woodwork that like are sleepers. Like we even said that too in our summer preview. We're like, hey guys, just so you guys know, you guys are gotta remember every season, no matter how stacked or how dull, always have those animes that just come out of nowhere and is really good. To talk about a couple of them, there's Clevitus, I think it's called, that I saw a lot of people really liked. It was a 45-minute episode, I'm not gonna lie. It was a little tough to get through. It was a little slow paced. But there's another one that I'm trying to find too that has insane animation. It's like something about like a water mage. Like it was absolutely insane. Like there's so many like really good like sleepers that are kind of coming out of nowhere where it's like, yo, wait, where did this come from?
Togen Anki looks really sick. I don't know if that's Netflix exclusive, but my buddy said that was really good too. Just like another good one coming out.
Oh yeah, you sent me I saw the trailer of that. Yeah, that looks awesome. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this absolutely insane season. I know we're having a blast. This is absolutely incredible. Tons of content, guys. Yeah. Tons of content to come. But is there anything else you want to say before we close out here?
Dude, it's a legendary season. Like it's a lot to keep up with, but that's kind of the fun of it. Like you could literally just pick whatever anime you want on Crunchyroll, and chances are you're going to get a banger. Like you were saying, there's a lot of sleepers that are easy to overlook. just with the big names that are coming out. But the big names are delivering too. Like, it really feels like one of the best seasons of all time. Just get in there and watch what you can. Like, Lord of the Mysteries is absolutely eating. Gachiakuta is huge. I think that's going to be a really big, popular anime. You can already see it taking off in Japan.
Yeah.
And the summer Hikaru died really, really impressed me. Love the vibes of the first episode. To dive in, whatever you pick, it's going to be good.
Yeah, like for real, like it's absolutely insane. And there's again, it's a wide spread of different genres too, which is awesome because it kind of gives you a little bit of everything. It's not like one genre is absolutely stacked. So I hope you guys are enjoying. Let us know in the comments down below what is your favorite anime so far. That is it, guys. We'll be seeing you around a lot this season. Like I said,
oh yeah,
lots of stuff coming. So hope you guys are enjoying. And later, guys. Peace.
Peace.